Hi guys, so this is just going to be a quick video about having joy and sufferings. I'm going to be looking down a lot because I got notes. But this will be a quick video, just some review. Okay, so I'll be getting into having joy and suffering, why the word says to glory in our suffering, and then how to have a positive viewpoint on suffering because it's not an easy topic. Okay, so Romans 5:3 says, "Not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance." So, when our faith is tested during suffering and trials, we're able to grow to be more like Jesus. And that was something that the Lord revealed to me. I was reading Isaiah 53 and a specific verse came to mind. I came across a specific verse. And it's Isaiah 53 3. And it says, "He was despised and rejected by mankind, a man of suffering and familiar with pain." And two key takeaways I took away from that was one, Jesus was a man of suffering. Okay, so when we suffer, we become more like Jesus because he was a man of suffering, right? I know that I've prayed like those prayers. It's like, "Oh Jesus, make me more like you, make me more in your image. Let me have a heart like yours." And then as soon as I start going through tribulations, I feel discouraged, you start feeling defeated and whatnot. Not realizing that when I suffer, I become more Christ like. Okay, so the suffering that we go through makes us more Christ like because it's like we're in situations that are similar to his. Obviously, not similar, like we're not dying on a cross or anything, but we're going through sufferings which he can relate to, right? And that gives us more room to respond with love like he would. It's like more opportunities to be going through a hard thing and still love like Christ, like he did. You know, he was literally hanging on a cross and he was like, "Forgive them, Father. They don't know what they're doing." And you want to have a heart like that. So it really just, it's like, God, he isn't gonna, it's like, I keep saying it's like, when like you ask for something, when you ask the Lord for patience, like he's not going to give you patience. He's going to give you opportunities to be patient. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's the same way with becoming more like him. Like he's not just going to make you like that. He's going to give you opportunities that are similar to his, right? You're going through hard things and still giving you opportunities to respond with love, respond with compassion, be understanding and things like that. So, conclusion to that, we must become men and women of suffering, just like Jesus was. And we shouldn't have such a negative perspective of suffering, because suffering is a blessing. Even when it doesn't feel like it is, it's as much of a blessing as a blessing is a blessing. You know what I mean? Like a blessing, suffering, that's the same thing because it still comes from God. You know what I mean? And it's for our benefit and it's for his glory. Okay, second takeaway from that verse. Jesus is familiar with pain. So, I just want to make it clear, like, I know that it's hard to be happy while you're suffering. It's hard to be happy and content when you're going through hard things. Like, trust me, Jesus knows, which is why during this time you want to draw near to God. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying, like, just have no emotions and be happy regardless of what's happening, because Jesus isn't saying that either. You know what I mean? He's went through the same things. This is the time where you draw near to him, where you speak to him about your pain and suffering, because he understands pain and suffering. Like, he literally took the ultimate sacrifice. He knows what you're going through. This is your time to draw near to him, because when you're going through suffering and you're not drawing near to him, you're getting farther from him. Anytime you're not talking to him, you're getting farther from him, but especially when you're going through hard things, because the hard things are supposed to bring you closer to him. And when you choose to lean on your own understanding and on yourself, you grow further from him in a time that you're supposed to be growing closer to him, doing similar things that he did. Okay, so he understands what you're going through. He knows. He was there. He understands more than you understand your own situation. Okay, so just to wrap up this video, remember to count suffering as a blessing. Remember to count suffering as a blessing. Look at it the same way you would if he gave you a blessing. Like, it is a blessing because it comes from him. And it's to produce fruit in your life. You know what I mean? And just remember that going through those things will make you more Christ-like. I think that's how I, am able to begin to think about it more positively. Like, this is bringing me closer to Jesus, and what an honor it is for me to even be able to be more like him. You know what I mean? Like, he's above everything. He is God. He's creator of all. And I am able to even be just a little bit more like him during my suffering. That's how I kind of like to look at it. It's hard, though. I don't always look at it like that. I'm not Jesus. I'm not perfect. Trust. I don't do that all the time, but, that's what I'm trying to adopt. So, yes, rejoice in suffering. As hard as it is well worth it.